We are live on YouTube and TikTok once again. The Los Angeles Lakers take down the Memphis Grizzlies 134 to 127. What a game. The announcers at the end, Stu Lance, Billy Mack, they thought that 9-point lead with 30 seconds was sus. And I think every Laker fan in the world did after the beatdown of our emotions we felt in Chicago. Austin Reaves, 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Great game from Austin. He was the most controlled Laker. But Luka and Dorian had the highest plus or minuses. But Dorian had some really bad stretches, but he ended up finishing 3 of 7 from 3. Thank God. Gabe Vincent, 4 of 6 from 3. He was great. Luka Doncic, 8 of 18, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Should have been 12 of 12, but he was talking too much. Should have had 30. Austin Reaves, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 of 8 from 3. He got picked a few times by John Morant, Scottie Pippen, gave the ball to Jalen Wells, but he still stuck through and closed the game out for the Lakers. LeBron finally back to a 25-point game, 2 of 5 from 3. Finally. 25, 8, 6, 3 steals. His legs looked a little bit better. He took a charge today where he got hit in the groin directly by Lamar Stevens. That was a little sus. But he made it out okay. Luka Doncic, 2 of 9 from 3. Goodwin, Vando, and Connect, all 0 of 1. So that's your tough percentages. Dorian missed some wide open ones earlier, but he made up for it. And Rui played well. Rui's just playing 28 minutes and giving you 13, 18 points, and that's fine. But I think Rui needs to rebound a little bit more. But I honestly thought in the minutes he was in, he could have seen 3 to 4 more shots. There were so many times people would drive through the lane and miss Rui on a skip pass or a corner pass or a cut. LeBron saw him on 2 to 3 different cuts, so that was a great sign. Austin saw him on 1. Luka and Jackson only connected on 1 lob today. I think it was telling how quickly the Memphis Grizzlies were able to play Luka Doncic off the floor. I mean, not Luka Doncic, sorry. Jackson Hayes off the floor because he couldn't shoot, and they took his lob away with Zach Edey because he's too big. You can't throw that lob over Edey. He'll just take it. And then it made it tough. The Lakers had to go small, and that's where they lost their lead and ended up going down for a little bit because they would have Dorian, who played 35 minutes, pretty much be your backup center. And then that's tough. Vando only plays 10 minutes. I thought he played pretty well. 6 points, 4 rebounds in that time, 1 assist, 1 turnover. But Vando was a positive impact out there. It was just interesting to see the Lakers not even try out Koloko or Len against Edey at some points when Jackson Hayes was out, or just play Jackson more. Trey Jemison was not in uniform tonight, so they weren't going to use him. I thought they might want to, though, against this physical Memphis Grizzlies team, and he played with Memphis very recently. Jordan Goodwin played with Memphis very recently. Memphis cycles through a lot of Lakers G League guys and Jay Huff and many more, but especially those two, Jordan Goodwin and Trey Jemison. And Colin Castleton, Alex Fudge, to name just a couple. But Connect also had a dunk on some good LeBron finds. He played well, but Desmond Bane was a dick tonight. 29 points, 6 rebounds. That's exactly what you want from Desmond Bane. If you're a Memphis fan, he was great. Ja, 22, 10, and 8. I could tell that the trust with Ja is a lot less because Scottie Pippen gives you 16 and 5. They went to Scottie a little more. Scottie had 4 fouls, though. He was reaching a lot. Ja had 4 turnovers. And Scottie only won 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Scottie plays a little bit over aggressive for my liking, but he's a good basketball player, so that's important. He knows exactly where to be now. He's improved a lot since he was with the Lakers. That's another Lakers cycled guy who ends up in Memphis. I thought Luke Kennard, my brother thought Luke Kennard would be the key tonight, but he never shot a shot in 21 minutes. It was just gravity. And he allowed a lot of space for Jaren Jackson to operate in that third quarter. Floaters over anyone because we were running too small. Zach Edey had 14 and 11. He could have played more. He definitely could have played more. But Scottie Pippen, Ja, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens with the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant's future. Is Ja Morant going to be their franchise player, or is it going to be Jaren? Is everyone going to stick together? Because the Taylor Jenkins firing is very interesting. Obviously, they have a terrible record against 500 teams. They haven't been very serious. as of late, and they've been on a skid. Now they're back down. They were the 5 seed already, but if they won today, they would have been the 4. So now they are the 5. I wonder if Ja Morant's future in Memphis expires this offseason. I don't know. I just had a weird feeling about that. And along with Santi Aldama, I know he shaved and everything. Desmond Bane pushed him and a couple days ago, so they've had beef. But I wonder if this team's chemistry is just poor. 4 turnovers for Santi Aldama. Sean in the TikTok chat says thoughts on AR. I love AR, man. AR is pretty much the Lakers closer. The Lakers have an issue where they have Luka, Austin, and LeBron all thinking and understanding that they can run point guard. So at the end, the reason the Lakers had to call so many timeouts is because there were times that 3 of them all were in line with each other at their own free throw line. No one had gone past the 3-point line for one of these fouls, so they had to call the timeout because everyone wants to be the point guard, and it's understandable because they're all so capable. But Austin Reaves might be the best ball handler of that bunch, and most reliable mid-range to inside finisher at the end of games. I trust him so much. Like, yeah, I love AR too. I always go to shooting range. That's funny. But Austin 10 of 10 from the free throw line, very smart. Made a couple boneheaded mistakes, but then he stripped the ball on a fast break. But Luka was too slow to get back, and he tries really, really hard. But not to diss Luka or anything, because he actually played pretty good defense today. But ultimately, you give up 127. My biggest issue with that is that that's the second highest point total of the day, besides OKC. They don't count. Lakers go for the first on the night, OKC second, Memphis third, and that's ridiculous. You're just allowing too many points. If you're the Lakers, obviously you score so much, so that's what you're living with when you lose Anthony Davis and Max Christie. But you were giving up so many points, a lot of open threes, a lot of doubling. Every team's big is above 70%, it feels like recently, with Zach Edey and Zach Collins and Vooch and Jaren and all these guys who are just scoring at such a high rate, such a high rate. The Lakers' defense could really be a concern in the playoffs. I think they can easily beat the Grizzlies in a series, but if we're talking about you got to face Denver, you have to face the Warriors in the next round, or you have to face the Clippers. I think actually they have the Clippers number, but you have to face OKC, obviously. That's the biggest threat in the West. If you ultimately can get yourselves there, how the hell are you going to guard anyone? How the hell are you going to guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? How the hell are you going to guard Jokic, Jamal Murray pick and roll if Jackson Hayes can be played off the floor? The Lakers really needed that big trade. I'm glad they got Connect back. I was kind of hopeful it was going to be Kleba for Rob Williams. Obviously, Kleba in draft capital, but I don't think Portland really likes the Lakers like that, so they weren't just going to gift the Lakers Rob Williams. And the Knicks need Mitchell Robinson right now, so you couldn't make that trade. And you search for guys like Duren and other bigs that are young, Claxton's stuff like that, but the Lakers would be in a different spot right now. I would view them as the favorite with an athletic rolling big that can also play defense and keep you honest out there, as opposed to what Jackson sometimes does. I also think Jackson is going to be a great, great, great center for Luka for a long time. And maybe as a backup, though, ultimately, if the Lakers want to reach a nice ceiling, they need a center that's just as good as Hartenstein or better, because Hartenstein makes really sound passes. So Jackson has two, but he can't be hit on the roll if he's not ahead of the guy because there's no confidence in that. They only got one lob today because of some crazy step back 3 pulls and stuff like that. But Zach Edey proved that if you put enough size on Jackson and in the passing lanes, Luka will not throw the lob. Austin won't throw the lob. LeBron won't throw the lob. It's too risky. They'll only throw it if the center commits to them. So that's where their floater is so important. That's where their layups are so important. Their abusing drop coverage is so important. You need to see better execution from the Lakers in order to get a center involved. And my goodness, do they need a center badly? They will I will keep saying it until they get one. I will keep saying it until they get one. Lakers win it all this year on my mother's soul. I would love to see that. That would be the idea. That would be a fantastic feat. And I do think they have a chance. I think they have a chance. It's just the deficiencies. Are they going to outweigh the pros of having 3 demons on offense? What's going to win out? What style of basketball is going to win? Defense has notoriously won championships, but so has offense. The Denver Nuggets won their championship being the best offensive team, almost one of the best we've ever seen. OKC is one of the best offensive teams in the league, but they're also a top defensive team with Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, Shea, Chet, Hartenstein, Caruso, Cason Wallace, all playing elite level defense. That's a lot of defenders. I don't think they can stop the Lakers guys, but I do think you have extra guys that can just keep going at your Lakers guards. And then you have better rebounders in Hartenstein and Chet. Although LeBron is probably a better rebounder than Chet, and so is Luka. But Hartenstein is one of the best. He's one of the best. And I thought that was an amazing signing for them. I would have dreaded if they got Claxton because he can also rim protect. The nice thing about Hartenstein is when you're looking at it from an opposing team's perspective, he's not going to rim protect the same way as a Chet would. So you want to go on his side of the court when you're going to the rack with such athleticism with LeBron and then craftiness with Luka and Austin. But Chet can block shots, and J-Dub and Lou Dort and Cason Wallace and Caruso can destroy you out there on the perimeter if you dribble too much. And I think in advance, I'm having horror stories in my head of what's going to happen when Luka dribbles the ball for 21 seconds against Caruso and then puts up a crazy shot or has someone else shoot a grenade. But at the same time, I have remembrance of the Luka Doncic giving the Thunder the business, along with Kyrie Irving giving the Thunder the business, but he's athletically better than the Thunder and more crafty than anyone we've ever seen. Austin Reaves is very crafty. He had another 30-point game for Austin Reaves. Most efficient guy on the team. And, 31. It's Austin Reaves is, if he was doing this in the beginning half of the season, he would have been an all-star, which is crazy because this man is putting up numbers no undrafted guy has put up since Isaiah Thomas. And shout out the 5'9" Isaiah Thomas. What a guy. What an inspiration to everybody. Lakers still bad, lol. I mean, their interior defense is terrible and their perimeter defense is also terrible. So besides that, they can guard in spurts really well, but are they going to get the rebound? It takes gang rebounding, and can you win a championship that way? We haven't seen it in a long time. But the Warriors won playing small, but they also had guys like JaVale McGee, Kevon Looney, Damian Jones being big role threats. Bogut was one of the better role threats that could also pass, play defense, and make the right decision. So the Lakers are going to be very dependent on like 24 minutes from a good center, likely just being Jackson Hayes. 24 out of the 48 minutes, and you need to have a center in that's playing well. Besides that, if you're playing small and you're hitting a lot of threes, you have to hit so many threes to justify playing small. And the Lakers shoot a lot of threes, as we saw tonight and as we've continued to see. And that's why they get in shootouts with guys, teams like the Chicago Bulls who lost by 1 to the Dallas Mavericks tonight. AD was 7 of 23, but they still won. The Lakers gave up 43% on three-pointers again today, same as the against the Bulls last time out, 14 of 32. But then the Lakers shot 19 of 43 themselves. So they shot 11 more threes and made 5 more as well, shot 44% from 3, and that's going to do it. That's going to completely do it. That's the difference in the ultimate breakdown of the game. But can you shoot that percentage every single game? It's a tall task to ask. That's why they've had a losing skid. So ultimately, that defense is going to have to be a lot better. And you got Houston in a couple of days, who has Phoenix tomorrow. You got Houston on Tuesday night, I'm pretty sure. Or is that Monday? Yeah, Houston Monday night, 7 p.m. TNT. That's crazy, actually, that it's on TNT on a Monday. Lakers at home. I will be in Los Angeles, too. Let's see if we end up going to the game. But that's a huge game as well because Houston is number 2 in the Western Conference race right now. So that would help Denver in theory. If you were to put them down to 48-27, Denver's 47-28. So they're a game and a half out from the 2 seed. You obviously would rather just get to the 2 seed yourself, but do you really want a team that's played the play-in? I think you'd rather face the Clippers or the Grizzlies or the Rockets 100%. I think that's exactly what you want to do. We've looked at these standings obsessively recently. So this is kind of the game you play with 8 games left now, where are you going to end up? Home court advantage is important. It always has been, always will be, especially for the Lakers who have a much better record at home. They're sub 500 on the road, but they get a road win tonight. But they're like significantly above 500 I think they're in single-digit losses at home. And also they're 36-7 after halftime, having a lead that they did today. So that upgraded to 35-7 today. That's very similar to the stat the Lakers had when they won the championship in 2020. They were like 67 and something or 57 and something after when leading after the third quarter. I think they were undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. And they went on to win the championship for that very reason. The defense, the stick-to-itiveness, no matter who the hell was in, you were going to play defense, you were going to score. It was exciting, it was fun basketball. I think the issue we're seeing with the Lakers is they're very talented, but they're not necessarily playing joyful basketball all the time. There is a lot of pressure, there's a lot of ISO, there's a lot of, oh my god, we got to attack this switch, we got to attack this now, which is completely good and tactical. You must do that, but the freedom of ball movement is how this team is going to just look better. And when Rui got his threes and LeBron got his threes, it was all based in good ball movement. Luka's came off ISO. Austin's like three of them came off of LeBron posting up at the top of the key, taking advantage of Jalen Wells being too little, and then hitting Austin from a deep 30-foot shot, and he hits it tonight. And Austin's been hitting those shots, but it's not always the easiest basketball. Sometimes you could argue standing around and waiting for your shot is. But I think the Lakers would benefit from more ball movement because that's when they had the Memphis Grizzlies in a blender. That's when the Grizzlies were in a blender tonight, and that's what happened when they were 12-2, 8-0 stretch, and everyone was healthy. They had teams messed up on how to guard them. Luka had to get blitzed because he was hitting too many threes. The crowd was going wild. So LeBron gets to play 4-on-3, and pre-groin, although LeBron's groin will get better, but pre-groin, he was just so explosive on that 4-on-3. Austin Reaves had so many wide open threes. He had the easiest 20-point average that he's ever seen in his life. Jackson Hayes had the easiest rolls he's ever seen in his life. Appreciate the follow, by the way, Chistosito. Bulls did get lucky, 100%. But not just 100%. The reason I paused is because LeBron gave them the ball. So LeBron did give them the ball, and that was depressing. But that's okay. We've moved on from that one now. But I think the Lakers are going to call timeouts every opportunity they have in the clutch from now on. Who cares if the game gets longer by 10 to 15 minutes? Just make sure you fucking win it. It'll be interesting to see, too, if the Lakers decide to bring in Koloko or Jemison for the playoff run off their two-way deals, waive one of Shake Milton, Alex Len, or Markieff Morris. Second place would be nice, but my thing, Chistosito, with that is that if you are second place, you face a team that's fresh off the play-in. Lakers have notoriously won as the 7th seed being fresh out of the play-in. You've played more basketball. Do you really want the Warriors or Timberwolves over the Clippers or Grizzlies? Probably not. But the Grizzlies are at risk of falling to 7 if they just keep losing. So maybe you want them if they just keep falling. But you probably won't reach the 2 unless you beat Houston and then OKC, which is a tall task. I'm pretty sure they have OKC twice to end the year. Obviously, the Lakers and Luka Doncic have good history against OKC. They don't lose very much because the Lakers had so much size and Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving were kind of unstoppable. But it'll be hard to beat them twice. It'll be very hard to beat them twice. It'll be hard to beat them once because they are looking really good and they're just dominant. So it'll be really hard to even beat them once. But the Lakers normally have good plans for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hartenstein only played 14 minutes tonight. Chet did not play. Brandon Carlson gave 12 minutes tonight. That's how bad the game was for the Pacers, fresh off their 162, 101 victory or something. 107, I think. Shea, 10 of 23. Kenrich, 4 of 8. Isaiah Joe, 7 of 9. Caruso, 3 of 5. J-Dub, 7 of 14. Dort, 8 of 11. 6 of 7 from 3. You already know the Lakers are going to do that Ole defense shit and leave Lou Dort wide open. And one of those games, he will go for 5 of 8. The other game, he will go 0 of 8. So are you going to play the numbers there? Who knows? Isaiah Joe, who the Lakers have guarded much better since LeBron's year with Thomas Bryant, when Thomas Bryant wanted the post up, when LeBron was hitting his all-time leading scorer shot. Isaiah Joe killed us that game. That's probably the last year that he ever did kill us because the Lakers started overplaying him now. So that's obviously a guy you watch. The Lakers know how Caruso operates, but he's a plus 22 today. Kenrich Williams plus 23. Guys that will hustle and maybe try and out hustle guys like Luka Doncic. Austin Reaves showed a lot of grit tonight. Dorian missed some hustle plays, but he made up for it a little bit later. You saw some good hustle out of Luka, not all the time, but is he going to hustle against these gym rats, in Kenrich Williams and Alex Caruso, Lou Dort? And J-Dub does hustle, even though he 19-6 made the All-Star team. I'm still shocked. Like Austin Reaves, if he was doing this 28, 8-8 this whole season, obviously that's his spot. Even 25, even 24, even 23, that's your spot. But J-Dub is a fantastic player. It's no disrespect. It's just loyalty to Austin Reaves and the Lakers and his impact. He's pretty much run the offense correctly the whole year. And we've had to watch D'Lo try and run the offense and then ultimately move to the bench. We've seen LeBron regress as a point guard because he's tired and doesn't want to dribble as much, which is very acceptable. And then we've seen Luka Doncic pound the air out of the ball, and then Austin Reaves kind of do the same thing. Appreciate the follow, Serp G. You've seen Austin Reaves kind of develop some bad habits and pound the hell out of the ball himself, but he makes the controlled decision, which is really important. And the nice thing that is so nice about Luka Doncic is, even though he'll go crazy, shoot a crazy step back, if he's caught in the air, he's not going to turn it over more than like anyone I've ever seen. Because he will turn around, see everything, and then make a random bounce pass to Austin Reaves that works. It may not always work for a bucket because it slows down the offense. I think that's a huge issue. I think the Lakers need to learn how to play a little bit faster in moments and how to play fast break a little bit better, because you need to get stops and you need to capitalize on those stops, because that's a tiring thing to do. You have guys that are not all full, like the best shaped athletes, right? So in order to execute that tiring thing of getting a stop, you got to score. You have to make it well worth your while. Because if you miss a layup in this NBA, if you miss a layup, the other team is almost certainly going to hit a three. It is like, I wonder what the rate is at this point. It feels like 99.9%, where if you miss a layup, the other team will hit a three. It happened like 3 times with LeBron, Dorian, and LeBron again, where Desmond Bane just capitalized off that, hit the three. Scotty might have hit a three. So the Lakers got to make these layups, execute fast breaks, do some 3-on-2, 2-on-1 in practice or something, and really focus in on the details, because I think they have certain details of their game plan completely figured out. They're so attached to the game plan and the tendencies and what happens, but I think they just need some basics when it comes to how to run a fast break and also how to guard 3-point shooters. That is very important. The Grizzlies aren't the same 3-point shooters Kobe White and others are, but my God, can they shake a Lakers player off the line like it's nothing? And if they wanted to apply rim pressure, they could have, but they were down 6-9, so it was hard. They kept shooting threes. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Jackson Hayes, MIO is MIP. I don't think Jackson Hayes has had a big enough body of work to be the MIP yet, most improved player. I think if he did this for a whole season, he would be in consideration. It seems like it's going to go to Cade Cunningham. I would like to see it go to Austin Reaves, who's upped his scoring average a lot, but that's just me. That could just be me being a homer. But yeah, I mean, you're also undrafted, and you become a 20-point per game scorer, 28 when your second best player is out. Pretty much run an offense that includes Luka Doncic and LeBron in it. So, like, if we're talking about all the high IQ factors of the thing of the award for Austin Reaves, he should be in heavy consideration. But Cade also, became one of the best players in the NBA, and is averaging 24, 25 a game, and he is sensational, and he's reaching his potential. I think a lot of people have trouble with that, because in reaching your potential, are you just supposed to do that? How are you most improved? Paul George also won most improved when he was a youngin'. He deserved it. So I think it's going to go to Cade, but that award needs to be worked on for next year. It needs to. There needs to be better criteria. There needs to be lesser tier players that are not even lesser tier, lesser opportunity players that are out there need recognition, because there are so many guys that do such important things for teams that don't get the daily recognition as the top scorers do, that you see highlights of on Twitter or YouTube. So I think it important to assess that rule gets changed next season, and we give recognition to like bench guys or six men or guys who become starters who are like came out of nowhere, or like, like if Jalen Wells, wasn't a rookie, he like most improved within a season, like that's always an option. Ant finna cook Luka in the playoffs. I mean, Ant hasn't really cooked Luka because the Mavs beat the Grizzlies. I mean, not the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves last season. Although Lively was huge in that series, so it'll be interesting to see if the Lakers can guard the size. I think the Lakers would struggle if Cat was there, but with Randall, I think they can guard that, and they let Gobert do whatever the hell he wants to do. I just think Naz Reid is the problem. I think Naz Reid is the biggest issue the Lakers have, and any shooters, but Ant tends to struggle against teams with LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Reaves or Hayes should win. BC Cunningham was still averaging like 23. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's just different. He became an all-star. Bringing a team to the 5 seed is very impressive after being the worst team in the league last year. They lost like 21 in a row, so I think that's really the justification for that. All right, guys. Fantastic live. Love you all. We're staying consistent out here. Everyone go sub to the YouTube that's in the TikTok chat at Ishan Ghosh 824. It's also linked in my bio on TikTok. Fantastic stuff. I will see you guys Monday. Lakers Rockets. Got to win that one. Why not go gun for the 3 seed or the 2 seed? Peace, guys.